Yeah, very excited. Great time of the year. Favorite time of the year. Ball's starting again. Get to go back out to the practice field. Excited to see the guys, all the hard work they put on the offseason, and just translate in again playing football and doing things that we have to do to be successful. And anxious to get some of the new guys out there, some of the old guys, some of the guys back that came from injury a year ago. So it's always a great mix to get that first time that whole group unifies on a practice field for the first time. And like I say, it'll be there for, I guess, about 5 to 6 months, and then there'll be another group. So that's always going to change. That's always unique. But guys have done a really good job in the summer. Chemistry, dynamics is very good. Good relationship. Leaders, I've been very proud of the leadership in the offseason, the things they've done, how they've handled things, and the way they've influenced our players. And our players have done a great job of accepting the things we do and how they do it, and done a really good job. So hopefully we'll go out and have some good practices and get ready to play in another month. Be a month away.
Down front.
Well, as well as anybody, it's been a hotter summer than usual. Do y'all have any special plans for the heat? And then when do you expect to be in your indoor complex?
Especially hydration. I mean, just high hydration. But you got to remember, they've trained in it all summer. They've trained in this exact heat all summer long, and we'll keep high hydration. We keep monitor rates, and that's one of the things our GPS does. It monitors heart rates, which worries about heat exhaustion and those things you can identify. Those things not only for progression of what you can do physically, but it's a safeguard. And how you do it, you can monitor heart rates and judge heat stroke, different things that go on. So we'll make sure we have reps, make sure the guys are hydrated, and we'll keep a close eye on them going in. And if they're not properly hydrated going for practice, we won't let them practice. We've always been like that. So they have to make sure they have everything involved, and hopefully we'll be in by Friday.
How's the health of your offensive line, but offensive tackles in particular going?
Good. I mean, we should be good. I think we'll ease Deuce into practice as we go because he hasn't practiced, but he'll ease in, take some individual reps and go. But we should be good. Why was there a problem with the tackle? Yeah.
Okay.
Why? I mean, it was just.
I thought there was something with his. I thought he had an injury or something. Zoom? No.
From when?
Last year, last fall.
Okay.
But I think he's fine.
No, Zoom's fine. He's been.
Father, he's easing into it.
Yeah, he'll ease him back into it because he got hurt at the end of spring, and then it ease him back into it. But no, Father, I mean, Zoom, you concerning me, somebody I didn't know. I mean, you guys always got the inside sources and the inside people. You say you know more than we do. So I was just asking you my injury report. I was just trying to find out who you better change sources. You had the wrong guy. Your source flubbed you.
We'll go far right here, down front.
Jimbo, how do you right down here?
All right.
How do you feel about the linebacker position with the addition of JD and then of course Tarian last year?
Good. I mean, Dorian, Damon, and Sanford, all those guys, they did a great job in spring. I think our depth as well. I mean, I think the guys have all, Montrez and Chris and those guys have all stepped up, and I think we have plenty of good depth there. JD has done a really nice job since he's come in here, worked out, doing everything, and seems to be, like I say, in the walkthrough today, see me making checks, calls, understands it. So, excited about those guys.
And then Walter Nolan, I think he lost about 30 pounds according to what the media guide looks like.
He did that last year.
Does he look, from what you saw from the spring and then so far throughout the training, do you feel like he's gotten faster, and do you think his role will change from where he is in the defensive line?
No, it won't change. He's probably 295 now, somewhere in there, 295, 300. He's getting up in there. So, I mean, he was 330 when you recruited him, but he did that. He lost all that weight last year, coming in. So, he's bigger than he was last year. He's stronger, faster, knows what to do even more, in the schemes and all that stuff. So, no.
Stay on the front row and then to the back.
Hey, Coach, when you have 4 guys on the offensive line who miss spring ball, what does it look like making sure that they're staying up to date through those injury rehabs and then to get them caught up once fall practice starts?
Well, here's the thing. You get so many walkthroughs now in the summer. So from an assignment standpoint, lineman standpoint, and the work, they've all worked all summer long. So we feel very good about that. And it's a lot of guys with experience. So it's not like you're missing guys that have played a lot or that haven't played. So we feel very good with that and should be ready to go.
Coach, go back behind the lights to the left.
Right here, Coach.
All right.
Right over here. Nope, other side. There we go. You talked a lot at SEC Media Days kind of about execution. It's all going to come down to execution to win this year.
It always does.
How crucial is this fall camp kind of in preparing to execute, I guess, come the season in a month?
Listen, everything you do in football is about one thing. It's about execution. Whether good plays, who does them, what does, but you got to execute them when you do them. And that's what everything comes to a point. That's why you do all the running, all the lifting, all the studying, all the practice, all the things to be able to execute. And hopefully, as I say, you practice things till you can't do them, or you don't practice things till you do them right. You practice them till you can't do them wrong. And that's what you have to be, because then they become habits, and you can use them at the biggest, most crucial moments. And hopefully, that's why I say you lose some of that when you lose experience, which we did last year. Some of your young guys can do them right, but they can't always do them that way. And then also when you're calling, doing whether it's offense, defense, special teams, the things you ask them to do, making sure they're in the most comfortable position. So it's about execution. That's what everything you do. And what do you think all the running, all the lifting, all the meeting is about? What? Go play well. And to play well, you have to execute well. And that's what it's about. So you have to get practice. You don't practice till you do it right. You practice it till you can't do it wrong. And that's why I say the quicker. And that's why I've been so excited. Guys, in the summer, I think we made tremendous progress just learning how to do little things and the attention to it. And I think the leadership of the team has held the guys accountable in a really good way on how they've done things. So, but we'll see when we get to the practice field. That's what it's all, at the end of the day, it's what it all comes down to.
Go back behind the lights to Darrell, and then to the right.
Coach, you talked about execution, and last year Connor came on and did not have an interception, which for a freshman was pretty impressive. How much do you feel like that he will progress in his second year and in his decision-making just with that?
Well, hopefully it'll continue to grow. Well, you can do two things with interceptions. You can not throw interceptions, but you also can't make plays. You can be so preventive you don't try to make plays. But he had 8 touchdowns with no interceptions. So he was making plays as he was not making decisions, making the right decision, which is very good. Because at the end of the day, quarterbacking is decision-making and accuracy. That's what it gets down to. Can you make the right decisions? Can you hit what the heck you throw at? Can you get us in the right checks? Can you do that? And he did a really good job of that. And hopefully he'll evolve. And the thing you got to be careful of, sometimes a guy gets, he knows more and more. Well, sometimes when you know more and more, sometimes you can make more mistakes because you know more. That's not always. So there's progressions that go. But what I've seen in the spring, sounds like he feels good. The questions he asked, the meetings, I think he gets it. Now you just got to go out and understand, find that fine line in between of making a lot of plays and making great decisions and knowing when to, as I say, on throws, there's safe zones on all throws. What I mean by that is by how the route is being covered, you miss it high, you miss it low, you miss it, you miss it, throw it away outside, whatever it may be, or you check it down or go somewhere else. And so again, hopefully he'll continue to grow in that, but at the same time, he won't be, which he's not, hesitant to still throw that ball in some areas where you make plays, because you got some guys that can go get it. So there's a fine line in there that you're always trying to tweak and turn. But I'm anxious to see where he is, and I really thought he came out of spring well, so hopefully he'll come into fall well.
Staying behind the lights to the right, Justin.
Coach, how do you feel about the running back position? Obviously, Devon gone, and I know Mari's probably ready to step in there, and you got Ruben. But, a 5-star coming in like Ruben, what's the workload that you expect from him?
Le'Veon don't count?
Yeah, Le'Veon counts too. How do you feel about the position overall?
I mean, you guys, why you need me? Y'all got it already down already. We got a guy hurt. We got a guy out. You guys got the depth chart at running back done. All your connections, huh? No. I've been very talented group. Not a lot of experience as far as that goes, but like what we've done, like where they're at, very talented group. And I mean that. I mean, the guys can run the football, and they can catch it. They have size, have speed, and hopefully they'll evolve into those roles and accept what we do, and we'll watch them and see what they can and cannot do. But they're a very gifted group, so you'd rather go with talent. And I always say this: if you're coaching the back where he's running, you probably recruited the wrong guy. You got to hit him in the right direction, give him the main blocking scheme. If you're coaching him how to run, he should be a fullback. All right, but hopefully that we can handle that. But they can run the football.
Second row on the right, David.
They can catch it too.
Jimbo, you've mentioned a couple different times about the leadership that has emerged. Mm-hmm. What kind of checks and balances are you seeing that players are doing to hold each other accountable?
Well, they set the disciplines of our team, which we've always done. But these guys are doing a much better job in understanding. Now, you can punish guys, you can say something to guys, you can get on guys. But if you're a leader of a team, what you're trying to do is change behavior. So the mistake, you can run a guy, you can jump a guy, or an older upperclassman can get on you in a certain way, and it has no effect. The other way, sometimes it has an effect, and it gets you to understand the big picture of what you're doing. And I think these guys are doing a much better job of the explanation part, and not just getting on guys or leading guys saying, hey, I'm in charge, I'm an older guy, do it like this. But this is why. We need you here. We got to have you in this group. And it's part of, like I say, when you become a leader, you become a teacher. Partly you become a coach. Coaching is teaching. Playing is learning. Okay, and I think our young guys are taking that, and our leaders are doing a really good job. And why I think our young guys are doing it, they're explaining to them why they're doing the things to them they're doing, or why they're saying you need to do it this way or that way, or how it's, they've made that mistake before. I think just from that standpoint, from an educational standpoint, I think our guys have done a really good job, and I think the team itself has accepted it in a much better manner that way, and I think that's human nature.
Let me follow up with your role. You've mentioned a couple different times that it has changed and evolved over the last couple of years. Can you kind of give us a snapshot?
Well, just administratively, the different things you're having to have and times, and because times are changing and what you're doing with different recruiting things and the way things that you're recruiting 24 hours a day. Like I say, we work 49 weekends a year, or excuse me, 45 weekends a year. So I mean, from the recruiting standpoint, the time you're there, constraints. I mean, we're 45 year round. And the only time you're off is February and a little bit of July, and that's because you can't be here. If they're here, there's people here recruiting. We're every Saturday and Sunday, which is, I'm not complaining. That's just the nature of what's going on, and that's the nature of what you have to do. So your time constraints and your time allotments in different areas of recruiting, different areas of administrative decisions, different areas of all the different things that go on have changed a little bit and drastically.
Second row on the right, Olin, and then Carter.
Jimbo, I wanted to ask, from your perspective over the last 6 to 8 months, what have you seen that would tell you that the offensive line is going to be improved?
Well, I think, first of all, I think the leadership of it, the way they've acted in the thing, the way they've interacted with each other, the questions they've asked, the workouts they've had, the walkthroughs they've had, the spring ball in which we went through, and all the different things, the mistakes, the questions have been a lot better, the total understanding, and the execution's been better when we were in practice and the things that go on now. Hopefully we can take it out in the fall and go, and we'll wait and see. We'll find out.
Was there at any time communications issue?
There always is. Anytime you change a guy, you change an organization, change somebody in your organization, somebody in your chain of command, what you do every day. There may be 3 or 4 people you interact with. Change one. The communication there. How do we do it? Why do we do it? When do we do it? Things you expect them to do, or calls that be made. And we had multiple guys. You're mix matching guys, and where you're at, it always does. And that offensive line is one of the most communicative positions as much as anywhere. And the other one being quarterback and receiver, but the other one's secondary. You guys, all the adjustments, all the backers, all the calls. You don't realize how intricate that can be, and how it changes fits, how it changes. When I see Dave back there nodding his head, and you know exactly what I'm. People don't understand how intricate that is. It's the same way with the offensive line. Fronts move, blitzes come, calls are made, and just getting it. It's not they don't know. It's being able to communicate it down the line with 100,000 people yelling. And you can get it passed off. And there's taps, and a lot of them aren't just talking. Maybe hand signals, gestures, taps. Like up front, you can tap a guy to pass it down. I mean, there's so many different things. And guys learning that routine in the heat of the moment, and when you have younger guys, is always a challenge in those situations.
Third row on the left, Carter, and then Cease on the left.
Yeah, Jimbo, how do you, assess your quarterback's preseason camp? How would you like to see from them? And then do you have a preconceived target date for when you'd like to announce a starter?
No, I never do. They'll tell you when they're ready, and you'll see it. And from that, I just want to see them manage the game. I want to see them manage the team. People say I want them to be a game manager. I want them to manage. You got to be a game manager. That's the greatest compliment you can have. Then the plays you make out of that, understanding situation, we call it situational masters. You got to understand it's third down, it's red zone, it's time on the clock, field position, all the different way calls change based off of those situations, and being able to get your team in the right play. Because at the end of the day, no matter how you do it, the key is to move the football. How do you do it? Get them in the right play, make the right decision, make the right checks, get them organized, give them confidence in the huddle, and then when it's time for you to physically make a play, you got to make the right decision, hit what the heck you're throwing at, and it's to play with great consistency. If you don't do something well, you want to get better at it, but the things you do well, keep repeating them so you know how to call a game or put the offense behind a guy. And if you have trouble with a guy, you can stay away from something or go to something. I mean, there's plenty of things to do. You just want to see what they like to do and the consistency in which they perform with. Any athlete, the hardest thing for anybody to do, and you'll judge this and anybody you work with, is if they're different every day. How do you approach your boss every day if he's totally wanting something different, or if he does something different, or if he acts something different? Same way with when players can play with great consistency. Because listen, that's what football is. That's what any sport is. And greatness is measured consistency and performance over a long period of time. That's what it is. Whether it's a game, can you consistently execute for a game? Can you consistently execute for a season? Can you consistently execute for a career? That's what greatness is. We tag greatness on just because of athleticism. That's not it. It's your performance and how you execute at your position. And because you're a great athlete, don't mean you're a great football player. That's why a lot of quarterbacks. So can they manage the game, be consistent each and every day, and allow the guys around them to function at a high level because of the situations and the decisions they make?
And then another question, just we've heard from a number of players that Bobby Petrino, like his personality, is a little bit different than they expected. He's a much calmer guy than they expected. Is that something you see, and what do you think his personality brings?
We'll see when practice goes. I mean, yeah. If you're doing, listen, all coaches are calm when things go well. You execute. That means it's a good thing. It means we're executing. But no, he is. Like I say, we've had a great like I say, we've known each other for a long time. There was never a question or concern on my part about us getting along or functioning or going together at all. And Bobby's a great guy. He's a smart guy. He's a hell of a football coach. And I think he'll do a great job. And I think our players are relating to him very well. And I think things are going well.
Second row left, cease.
What's different about this team's off-season chemistry? What have you seen?
What I just said there, accountability. There's three abilities you got to have. First of all is availability. How available are you each and every day? Then you got to be accountable and you got to be dependable. And the availability of these guys, being where they're supposed to be, doing what they're supposed to be, getting preventive things, getting healthy to be there, being accountable for their actions on and off the field, and being very dependable. And that creates dependability. Now you have value. As soon as you can be available, accountable, and dependable, you don't have value to then. I don't care what your athletic ability is. And your mental and physical abilities can't be used until those three abilities have been there, and those have been at a very high level for us in the offseason. Now, hopefully we can take that to the field.
You mentioned offensive tackle. Since I don't have any sources, any other injuries or people that might not go ahead and be ready?
Should be. No, there'll be. Like I said, Deuce from the injury from the spring, we'll ease him back into camp the right way and get him healthy and get him going, which he is. But because like you say, full functional drills. But no, we should be ready to go.
Daryl, you're going to wrap us up back behind the lights.
A lot of pressure. Coach, sometimes if you're a junior or senior, people look at you as a leader, and that's not necessarily your characteristic. But
don't do it.
As for Anais coming back for this year, how does he fit into that in terms of his skill on the field and his ability to be a leader?
Anais has leadership qualities, and it's his personality. The worst thing you can do to a kid who's a really a heck of a player, if he just like some guys just like to play their own deal, do their own deal, and how they lead is by example. Just do what I do. You don't have to be vocal to be a leader. You can just follow guys. Everybody thinks it's the guy who talks. Some of the best leaders I ever been around never said a bunch of words. And if you ever go back and listen to the great San Francisco 49ers group, Montana was a very quiet guy. They always said at one time on a show, we said, we're going to go to so and we're going to push through it and we're going to win or do whatever. They said that was the only time he'd ever spoken in a locker room, maybe in 16 years. So, I mean, we think that because a guy is vocal doesn't always make him a leader. You know what I'm saying? It's by his example and by what he does. Anais has both qualities. By the way he practices, and he is a vocal guy, and he articulates his things very well and teaches very well, and the guys respect him. Because the whole thing about being a leader, the players respect you. You can say go talk all you want. If your teammates don't respect you, you're not a leader. You know, and how you do things. So, but in his existence it is, and it's great to have some guys in that. I mean, you have some 4th and 5th year guys in this team, which in today's college football is very rare, and we had a lot of guys come back. It's fun because, I mean, there's a lot of experience and a lot of ball, and that they can pass down to the other guys. And I think that's part of what's going on in our offseason too.
All right, Coach. Thanks for your time.
Thank y'all.